Hey guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and I'm still here in the hostel as per yesterday's video, and I wanted to touch on a different part of the book, and this is actually a part of the book where Shereshevsky starts quoting Kramnik on his comments from the results of Wijk 2013. And basically what he had to say was that he was pretty much shocked and appalled by the number of positional errors played by 2600 players, like, strong GMs. And as a result, these 2600s, they weren't able to compete with the top 10 in the world at the time. And he basically was saying how, these top 10 players in the world, they're not stronger than they were before, but in fact the players below the top 10 are actually becoming weaker. And he was trying to understand why this is the case, and he kind of came to the conclusion that it's definitely due to computer analysis. And I think I can kind of add my own take on this, which is actually for beginners out there in the chess world. I think the average beginner is going to face far more difficulties than the average beginner 20 years ago, because currently you have all of these shortcut methods to improvement like Chessable, or I don't know, just computer analysis that just automatically gives you computer analysis, like on chess.com. When you finish a game, it already tells you and shows lines on what the evaluations are. And these kind of shortcuts to actually looking through your game, trying to understand the game, trying to learn from your mistakes without just using any cheats, that analytical skill actually comes useful in the game of chess as well. So I think not only the 2600s may have these problems, but even beginners and adult improvers in today's age. And it was interesting because Kramnik actually goes on to talk about some specific aspects of what has changed before and now. And firstly, he said that in the past, players got a lot of experience training their endgames through adjournments. And adjournments actually used to be a thing when I was a kid, but I was too much of a beginner to ever have to experience an adjournment, so I don't think I ever had an adjournment. Maybe once, and then we just agreed that there's no point arranging a meetup, and I'll resign or something. I don't know, I was probably lost. But basically what adjournments are is, in a league match, back then you didn't have increment on the clocks, and when you basically finished your time, rather than just someone lose on the clock, you would actually have a little slip of paper where you would write the next move, whoever's move it was, and you'd go back, analyze the position to death, because there were no computers at the time, so you couldn't cheat. And then you'd meet up for a second time and finish the game with added time on the clocks, obviously. And often adjournments would take place when the positions had reached endgames. So then having to analyze the endgame as best to your ability would then help your endgame skills. So that was one aspect that sadly has been lost, and unfortunately there's probably going to be no way to bring that back unless you're very disciplined with a group of friends that you can trust, and you practice doing this adjournment. But honestly, it's probably not possible in today's time. The second one is actually opening preparation. He basically said that in the past, openings were worked on in small groups of friends, and you would develop the theory together, trying to come up with different candidate moves, analyzing it based on your own principles and understanding, and then basically build up your theory from there. Maybe there may have been some opening databases, I don't know how, maybe in books or something, but basically, yeah, no computer analysis there to help you. So through doing that, you really actually remember the openings a lot better, rather than just, let's say, chessable spaced repetition where some top player is giving you the moves on a plate. If you haven't worked it out yourself, obviously you're going to remember it a lot less well, and not just remember it, but understand it as well. In a chess game, often you might get a position that resembles a different position, and if you have the understanding, you're going to be able to get to the right move in the position. But if you just have memorized something based on just repeating moves, it's completely counterintuitive to actually getting stronger at chess and being able to be a versatile player playing lots of different positions. So that was the second thing. I think with this second point, we definitely can bring that back. It just takes some discipline to organize some kind of opening clinic between some friends to knuckle down and work out some openings. But yeah, I don't know, it's tough to find as well. I mean, I guess you could do this on Zoom, So maybe it's something I should consider and actually try and do. But yeah, it's a lot of logistical work. Like, people are so busy with many different things nowadays. Like, I can imagine back in those times, since the world was less globalized, your friends were the friends in your village or something, or your town, and you would just meet up every day, just study the chess opening, get to the bottom of it, and then go home and sleep. So maybe it's more easier to do back then, but I still think there is hope to be able to bring that back if any of the viewers were interested in trying to do that. And finally, yeah, this is the third one, which we definitely can do at home, even though it's very hard to avoid the temptation of doing this sin. But basically that is, as soon as you finish a game, to simply whip on the computer analysis and just check the evaluation to see which moves you did well, which moves you did not so well. And although that is useful to some extent, it really does hinder your development in terms of being able to analyze and understand your mistakes deeper, because you get a second go at trying to work out what actually went wrong in this game for me to lose it. And that process is definitely one that is going to improve your chess. Like, I don't do that myself because I don't have that level of discipline, but I can imagine the people that do really would make improvements. So I guess these are 3 points how times have changed in the chess world, perhaps for the worse. But by analyzing those points, we can perhaps gain some better understanding of them, and therefore maybe be able to work towards not following the mistakes and working beyond what our society presents us. So yeah, hopefully that was interesting, and we can learn from Kramnik's words and Shevchevsky's writing, because honestly this book, the criticism it gets is because it does lift a lot of work from other people. And yeah, I mean, if you've read all those other works, then that's going to be an issue, but the point is, I don't know how many viewers or myself have read the works of John Nunn, Dorfman, interviews of Kramnik, etc. These, Shevchevsky has picked out the best from these authors and summarized it into a book, and I think that is just pure gold. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the book. I'm around maybe 2/3 the way through. I've got around half of Endgame Strategy chapter to go, about maybe 1/3 left of the final section, which is talking about kind of how chess has moved from the 20th century to the 21st century. And I have finished the first section, which basically is talking about the importance of chess classics and how to actually go about developing an opening repertoire that is going to actually improve your chess and to lead to good results. So that is all from me. Hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I probably should try go outside and enjoy Berlin rather than just read Cheryshavsky, but probably I'm just going to keep reading. So okay, see you in the next video. Bye.